Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and today we're discussing the knee-jerk reaction for Double Game Week 27. There definitely is a lot to talk about in way of which players to bring in for your Double Game Week 27 sides. If you guys are enjoying the FPL videos, drop a like and subscribe, so it really does help out the channel, and make sure those notification bells are clicked as we are going to be uploading lots more FPL content in the build up to Double Game Week 27, then Blank Game Week 28 and Double Game Week 29. There's plenty of stuff to discuss with FPL, so with that being said, let's jump into the video. So first of all, let's have a look at some of the most transferred in players this week, beginning with Matoma. He's coming off a 13-point haul in game week 26, picked himself up a goal and an assist. It was a nice goal at the back post there, arriving for the tap. It had a very high XG on that goal, and then won the penalty, which was converted by Brighton. And I do think Matoma is a very nice pick at 5.4 at the minute. His price is expected to rise as well over the coming days. I'm sure lots more managers are looking to get him in. I do like March as well from Brighton, but as far as those Brighton attacking assets go, I do think Matoma and March are the two best picks. So I'm a massive fan of this transfer in. Tony, of course, another very good option as well. He's yet to play in game week 26 at the time of recording, but he actually has the highest predicted points out of any player across the next 6 weeks, and especially with a good double game week for Brentford coming up in 27. Tony's a great transfer in, as is Estupiñán. He's been in really good form recently for Brighton, picking up both clean sheets and assists, and Brighton's defence has really increased their clean sheet tally, especially in the last 5 to 6 game weeks. They've picked up 3 clean sheets in their last 5. So some good recent defensive form for them, and with good fixtures coming up, a great double game week in game week 27 and a solid game week in game week 29 as well. I think jumping on their defense could be worthwhile, and I think Estupiñán or Dunk are the two better picks. I'd probably opt to go for Estupiñán just because he has higher attacking potential. So for me, another very good transfer in. Looking at the players that have been shipped out of the squads though, Riyad Mahrez, understandably a player that managers are looking to get rid of. He's really struggled to find consistency in minutes in the Premier League over the last 3 to 4 game weeks, and I think if you're paying a price nearly £8 million for Mahrez, you need a player that's playing a week in, week out, and especially with all the other good midfield options right now. Obviously, we discussed Matoma and March earlier for Brighton. They could be good picks for the double game week coming up. They're probably prime candidates for Mahrez replacements, and I think that's a transfer we're looking to make as well. We've currently got Mahrez in our team. We're definitely looking to drop him down to either Matoma or March. So for me, it's a good transfer out. And Nketiah as well, another good option to get rid of from the sides. Obviously, Tony, a good forward option coming through. He could be a nice pick. Ollie Watkins has been in great form for Aston Villa as well. So there's some good forward options around Nketiah's price right now, which you could easily replace him with. And Almiron, another player as well in the midfield, a similar price to Matoma and March, can easily be transferred to one of these two Brighton assets. Another great transfer plan in my opinion. Almiron just hasn't been able to recapture his form since the World Cup break. So for me, another good transfer out there with Almiron. And with all that in mind, let's have a look at our Game Week 27 transfer watch list. So here are 8 players that I've identified as good options to target for Double Game Week 27, especially as they do have good fixtures in this double game week or have good fixtures coming up and predicted points. The first one here is Ben Mee. I think Brentford's defence is also one worthwhile to consider. Estupiñán, obviously a very popular pick in that Brighton defence, but that Brentford defence has been in really good form recently as well. I think Ben Mee or Rico Henry here, 2 players that, as you can see, are on the watch list at the minute, are good options in this Brentford defence. Ben Mee, the most expensive Brentford defender right now at 5.1. It is with good reason though, as he does have pretty good attacking potential from corners. He actually has the highest expected goals figure out of any Brentford defensive asset. His XA is also fairly high as well, ranking in the top 1 or 2, I believe, amongst Brentford defenders between him and Rico Henry for the expected assist stat. So Ben Mee, you are paying a little bit more for him, but you do get consistency in minutes and a good threat from corners as well. Everton away and Southampton away, a great double game week in game week 27, especially from a defensive perspective. I'm sure Brentford will be keen to pick up 2 clean sheets in these 2 fixtures here. I definitely expect at least 1 clean sheet across these 2 matches. Also, Ben Mee's got a great predicted points for game week 27 of 7.6 and a pretty solid predicted points across the next 6 as well with 27.2. The other good thing with Brentford assets is they do play in game week 28. They've avoided that blanking 28, which is very good. It was looking unlikely, but the way that FA Cup fixtures played out, Brentford are going to double in 27, play in 28, and double in 29. So a good idea to have at least a double up on Brentford, in my opinion, especially coming into game week 27. A Supernan, obviously another good pick, which we touched on earlier. Leeds away and Crystal Palace at home, a pretty solid double game week. Not quite as good, in my opinion, as Brentford's double game week this week, but still I would look to jump on those Brentford players. They do have a much better double in game week 29. So you could look, I'll get him in this week, and you can prepare your team very well for game week 27 and 29. Obviously, Brighton do blank in game week 28. That's something to look out for. But for now, I think getting their players in is worthwhile. You can just drop them down to the bench, plan your team around blank game week 28, or you could free hit in blank game week 28, depending on how you're going to want to play it. A Stupidan's got a great predicted points for game week 27 as well with 7, and a player with good at potential at both ends of the pitch. Ollie Watkins, despite blanking in game week 26, does remain on the watch list. He's been in great form for Aston Villa. 5 goals and 1 assist in his last 6 games for Aston Villa, so a player in very, very good form. He's got West Ham away this week. Not the worst fixture, certainly not the best one either, though. He does have a great predicted points across the next 6 weeks, which is one of the main reasons why I've got him on this watch list with 29.9. It is the second highest out of any player on this watch list, only behind Ivan Toney. So I think Watkins, another really good forward option worthwhile discussing. If you're looking for 2 cheaper forwards, I think Toney and Watkins, the 2 best picks at around that £7 million price tag. So just because Watkins blanked in at game week 26, I still have him on the watch list. Don't take your eye off him. He's still a player that's worthwhile keeping an eye on, as he does double in game week 29. Also avoids a blank in game week 28 as well for Aston Villa. Matoma, obviously the most popular transfer in, leads away Crystal Palace at home. Probably a better set of fixtures from an attacking perspective, I think. Leeds, obviously, not the strongest at defensive outfit, and then Crystal Palace at home, a really good chance for Brighton to add more goals, and especially Matoma, a player that's been in superb form recently for Brighton. He's got a great predicted points of 7.5, on par with some of the highest amongst Brighton players this week. Phil Foden as well, I just wanted to touch on him. He's produced 2 double-digit hauls in a row now. Something to keep an eye on. Crystal Palace away this week is a very good fixture, and I think that's a decent one to target for Man City there. So a good option for Phil Foden if you're looking for a more differential pick. Definitely a higher risk pick though at £8 million. Whether he's going to keep getting starting minutes for Man City is a main question or main concern. But after 2 double-digit hauls, I'd have to keep my eye on him here this week. Doesn't have a great predicted points just because of the uncertainty of him starting. But of course, when a player's in this form, you know Phil Foden, if he gets consistent minutes for Man City, he can be efficient. So just keep an eye on him. Wouldn't look to transfer him in necessarily this week, but just wanted to keep tabs on as the season progresses. Rico Henry also, as we discussed before with Ben Mee, he's coming in at 4.5 and is a really good Brentford asset to have in the team, especially if you're looking to save a bit of money. 0.6 cheaper than Ben Mee, and he's got really good expected assist figures as well. I believe it's around 1.7 to 1.8 so far this year. So a player that can get forward and produce assists for his team, as he's shown so far this Premier League campaign. Everton and Southampton, a really, really good double game week, and one that you've been looking to target from a defensive standpoint. He's got a good predicted points. He's actually got the same predicted points as Ben Mee with 7.6. So if you do want to save a little bit of money, I think Rico Henry could be a good differential option. Obviously, a lot of people are flocking to Ben Mee, and he does have a much higher ownership. So, if you're looking for a more differential option, Rico Henry, definitely one to consider for Brentford there. Solly March as well, another nice pick at 5.1, a lot cheaper, sorry, a lot more differential and cheaper, to be fair, than his Brighton counterpart in Matoma, who is getting a lot of attention from FPL managers as they bring him into their sides. March, also another player worthwhile considering. He does have a higher XG, higher XA, higher expected FPL points than Matoma so far this season, yet not quite shown as much love as Matoma coming into double game week 27. He's also got a much higher predicted points for double game week 27 with 9.1 compared to Matoma's 7.5. Also has a much higher predicted across the next 6. Is expected to score 3 points higher than Matoma across the next 6 weeks. So for me, March is probably the player that I'm looking to get into my teams just because he's getting better underlying numbers. He has a high predicted points and is a little bit cheaper. I think March could be the one to go for. He's a bit more differential as well. So you do take the risk if Matoma hauls that you're going to miss out on a lot of points that other people are getting. But of course, if March producer returns, you are looking very good in terms of rank rise. And Tony, of course, a player that managers should definitely be looking to get into their sides, whether or not they're on a wild card this week or on a wild card last week or looking to transfer him in. Tony is a player that needs to be in your teams, in my opinion. He's got the highest predicted points out of any player this week with 9.9, and the highest predicted points out of any player across the next 6 with 38.2. Everton and Southampton as his double this week. I think right now is a good time to get in Ivan Toney to the teams. A great forward option, probably one of the better forward options now. As far as players go in terms of predicted points, I think Haaland dropped off slightly in form. Kane coming off a blank last week, bit iffy there. At 7.7, I don't think you can go wrong with Tony. A great price for a player with really good predicted points across the next 6 game weeks. Thanks for watching today's knee-jerk reaction for Double Game Week 27. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel and pushes the video out to more people. Also, to stay up to date with all the future FPL videos, click that notification bell as well. There is going to be plenty more FPL content in relation to Double Game Week 27, plus how our team is going to be looking for Game Week 27 and beyond in Blank Game Week 28 and Double Game Week 29. Definitely plenty to discuss there. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.